Hey guys, it's Ellen and it's Friday. You know what we do on Fridays? We paint florals. It's watercolor practice again. I go over this step by step. It's just using a couple of brushes, watercolor, and cheaper paper. Paper. We don't need to really draw anything except maybe a cylinder here. So easy. Any beginner can do this. It's just a lot of fun. You're very creative with this. You can change the colors. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you haven't hit the bell notification button, please hit the bell notification button to know my tutorial's up. And if you haven't subscribed, come on over and subscribe. We have a lot of fun over here. Also, check out my Patreon. I have ad-free videos, traceables, exclusive tutorials on Thursdays. That's like 4 extra a month, and they're much longer ones, and they have some trace to go with it and reference photos from me. And live stream in the top tier every third Saturday of the month at like noon. You know, you can ask questions. We go over different things and techniques. So it's just please people go and support my channel, which I appreciate. You can check it out right here, little eye icon, and see what it's all about. So without further ado, let's get painting some pretty florals. Okay, so for both of them, we need a 5x7 card. So I just took my Strathmore paper. This is the watercolor 100% cotton paper. It's pretty cheap. It's an 8x10 pad. So I just cut folded the sheet in half and then cut off an inch in the top so I have my 5x7 card. So I did both of them. Oh, I just got paint on my finger. Well, there you go. So that's verditer blue paint. Holbein, one of my favorite colors. And I made a mess already. So you know what? We're going to work with that. I'm going to be using my Princeton 8 long round velvet touch series, my Princeton 10 Neptune series, water jars, and paints. I'll go over them as I use them. So, well, I was going to do a vase, a very solid vase, so we'll just keep it that way. I'm just going to draw a cylinder, kind of like right here. Nice little skinny kind of fun vase going down. Maybe a little further out. On the right hand side, just a rectangle going down, and then I just kind of imagine myself having some blooms coming out this way off the page, like this really kind of cool cascading flower. So let's mix up some paint real quick. I have the cadmium yellow deep here, and I'll put some in the wells both, and then I'll mix them up here with the Prussian blue. So I'll be mixing my peacock with this to get it medium green. Mix that same green in here, get a light green. And then up here in the Prussian blue with the yellow to make a nice deep green. I might want this one a little bit lighter. I got so much paint on my brush. Yellow here, much lighter, almost like a chartreuse green. And then we have our verditer blue, which I made a mistake here. But I'm going to use that blue. I love that color. Some nice purple color tone. So I'll take the verditer blue. I have a little bit of this bright rose color over here. And I'll make a nice purple. I'm going to grab a little more of this verditer blue. The consistency is like heavy cream. And we can make a nice purple with the pink here and the ultramarine deep that I have up here. Nice purple, deeper purple. You can see it's getting a little bit deeper. So I have all these colors ready to go. And so now we'll start. We have the imaginary vase is here, right? Imaginary vase. But we're going to have some stems going out first just to help us guide us to where we need to go. I'm grabbing my 8 long rounds, got a nice point on it. And we're going to just kind of loosely paint some nice loose. I'm going to keep this solid, so I'm just going to take from the top, kind of out, really skinny, out flower, stems. You can have some kind of crisscrossing going outward. Again, out here, we're just kind of going off, up to the left and out. You can have some kind of going over too. Grab that medium green, up and over, and like that. So now we have the guide, so where we're going to put our flowers. We can also just right here on front of the vase, we can put some nice leaves. I might actually add a little bit of magenta or pink or red to this green just to dull it down a little bit. So I might put some big leaves. I'm just kind of taking my brush, kind of pushing down, creating some big leaves here, just in front of the vase. See, simple kind of leaves connecting over here. Might grab the chartreuse green, do the same thing here. Just adding some thicker green leaves in the bottom and then going upward. I'm losing my voice, sorry. Just simple like that, you know, just to ground it a little bit. And then take some of the darker green that I had mixed, put some of that also. You can also take some brown. I have burnt umber here, water it down, and throw in some brown tones if you want. So I'm going to keep it like that. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I don't know why. I love that verditer blue. Obviously I made a little mistake in the beginning, but that's okay. We're going to use that kind of color, almost butter consistency, which means it's just adding a teeny bit of water. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice as we're talking. Don't know why. And we're going to just add a teeny bit of water so it's kind of thick, because this paper is not like the arch paper. And we're going to just paint this color down. It's such a beautiful, brilliant color. Look at that. I don't even care that it's right out of the tube. Love it. Going right down, right off the page. If it makes it easy for you to open the page and do that, but I want them to go off, so either you tape it when you open it or don't. Either or. So I'm just going to go straight down the vase. Really kind of just a little bit of water, so we have this really kind of brilliant blue color. Just simple like that. If you want to add some, bleed in some tones like different purples or something, you can, like maybe on the right hand side, just giving a little shading. See, I took the purple that I had mixed, just added at the top and to the bottom on the right hand side. It just changes it a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy. I did like the solid, but adding the little touches, maybe a little bit darker too again, it's just going to change the vase even more so. See, I just take the little purple, put it on the side, just like that. All right, we're going to grab our number 10, Neptune, and we're just going to water this down just a little bit. I want my paper towel close by. And we're just going to do these little splotches, kind of like dots. So push down. It's a little bit wet. Take off some excess water. And you're creating these little really pretty delicate blooms. Maybe I'll add that deeper purple while it's still wet. See, and you're just kind of like dotting up. You can add a little deeper, right on your brush, ultramarine blue, and kind of bleed that too. Just really kind of pretty. We're doing some nice, pretty blooms. If it's too watery, just go back in, mix it up again, a little more paint. All right, we'll do another bloom, kind of pushing down here, going off the paper, and then another one here, going off. So they're almost like lilacs or whatever they want to be. It can be a little bit wider here on this one. And going down here. See, I'm just tapping it. I'm grabbing my deeper purple, just tapping it inside this wet area, grabbing right from the tube here, right in the tip, that ultramarine blue. On the same brush. I haven't cleaned my brush. Grab the blue and hit this one. See all it's just really pretty and delicate. Simple. Don't make things too crazy. I'm going to grab some of the bright rose and some ultramarine blue and make up more of a pink kind of purple. And then I'm just going to make the simple flowers with that. Just making my brush go like this. Push it like this and like this. See? It's almost like a tulip. And then you can just take the tip of it and kind of push outward on the side and the middle. So it adds a little more interest for the bloom. Again, pushing like this sideways, connecting it down. So simple, right? And then another one off here, going off. I want to make things easy for people, not harder. And then we can put another little one here, kind of putting here. Maybe add a little more rose to this. I love the colors. And then have one coming out here, coming off the page here. Maybe one peeking here. I kind of paint as I go, you know? And then I go take my skinnier brush again while I painted those, and grab my chartreuse green and kind of connect. And then maybe I'll add some nice pretty leaves now at this point. Going off again. Connect. Add that deep green. Go back with that chartreuse green. Kind of filling in some spaces here. Really just done delicate. Get that deep green. Put some veins in here. Again, gonna add some more light green too, more leaves. You're just pushing down, pulling up on these ones. Kind of like making the blooms all go like that way. And you can take some stem crisscross all the way out. See that? Just, we're gonna have fun. And you can put some little broken ones, kind of going like this. See, I just made a leaf right there. Push down, push, push. All this movement going that way. It's just something different. I can take that verditer blue, so it kind of, it's not just the vase. Make some little teeny delicate petals here, like a 4-petal flower, 4 or 5-petal flower here. Maybe some up in here, under this bloom. And then kind of peeking inside these ones in here. So notice that we're doing very purple blue kind of tones. If you want to add in some yellows, feel free to do that. Some blush tones. I'm kind of keeping in these tones. I might water down some ultramarine blue and do some of that. This little blue, almost like little buds. That blue is just a pretty color. Going all the way up to the top here. And maybe add some over here. And then a few over here. I'm just not going to make this really difficult. I'm just pushing my brush down, moving color around. Just some little spaces here, down below here. Filling in the little nooks and crannies in the bottom. You want to kind of ground it down here and kind of have it crazy loose up here. That's about it. I mean, you can get a little bit, add a little more things, like it's the stem maybe connecting to this particular flower. It doesn't have one. And if you want to get, while it's dry, the deeper tones of purples, of blues, of pinks, kind of going through, making little veins. The flowers do that. Just adds a little more interest. But really, guys, just super simple. I mean, I think that less is more sometimes, right? Don't keep adding. You can add just a little bit of leaves. As I say, don't keep adding. I'm adding a little more, but you get what I'm saying. Keep it simple. If you want to, once you finish your flowers, if you want to go back in and kind of wiggle in some more deeper tones with that little kind of like lilac blue. See, I'm just doing a little more dots, just to make it a little more sophisticated. And a little purple over here, kind of grounding a little more. And then if you wanted to add some more veins to this, and a couple more leaves right in here. Maybe a dark one here and here. Not too much though. I want to keep that kind of loose as well. Little sprays. Now I'm standing up and I'm thinking, it is kind of missing some things in some areas. Sometimes it's good to stand up or walk away. And I'll go back in and I'll add some deeper, darker green in here. Just filling in some areas that I feel like it's missing some love. You know? I'm not trying to make it too difficult. I don't want to kind of go this way because then it's like this whole thing. I kind of wanted it all to kind of go this way. Crazy blooms that kind of bend and cascade downward. Add some browns. Kind of put those in here. So it's kind of going downward. Trying to keep it simple. And then I'll add just a little bit more deeper green. Maybe here. Just to ground it. Maybe some Prussian blue. But like I said, I don't want to get too crazy with this. Now the vase can stay simple. You can add some more shading with it. I might grab some ultramarine, mix it in with the pink, get a little more purple blue. Get a little bit deeper here. The shading could be a little bit deeper, darker, just to give it a little more interest. Doesn't have to be, you know. Grab some of my verditer blue, get a little bit darker here still, and then bleed it down a little bit more. You can add stripes, polka dots, whatever you feel like. Just trying to keep it a little simple here. Just bright color, fun. If you want some flowers peeking up in the bottom, you can write Happy Mother's Day right here on the side. I just really love painting it this way. And I might add a little more pink over here, just to ground in some of these areas. Just putting in that like bright pink, fuchsia, and little lines in this tulip kind of flower, and little dots in these ones. Just adding a little bit more. That's that. I mean, like I said, I could go ahead and take a ultramarine blue and maybe put a little stripe, mix it with the verditer blue, a little skinny stripe, kind of going down. Just make it a little more interesting. And that's that. And we're going to move on to the next one. All right, so this one, again, you can open it up. We're going to be working from, if it's better for you to tape it, you just take some Scotch tape, just tape the side right here in the center. So it's taped on the left side of the center going down. Hold it in place. Now here we're going to play around with this to Princeton 8 more. Going to grab our light green here, maybe add a little more blue to this. Okay, and I might add a touch of pink or red or brown, just to mute it. We're going to do this movement like this, with this brush, right? So we're going to just take some brush strokes and go out and over, see? Curl it out, curl it up, maybe crisscross it out, come up from the bottom. Clean off our brush. We can do some brown ones, because sometimes the brown color is pretty. I'm going to just mix it right in with my purple. I don't even care. So that's the burnt umber color. And we can go up from here and go outward. I might add a little neutral tint to that, because I don't like the color. It's a little too red. I want a little more deep brown. And then we can just crisscross over here, just making these simple lines going out. We can grab our greens and connect it and go up, just breaking the connection too. And then some of the greens here, connect up and go out. So that's what we did. Same colors we had before. Save your verditer blues and whatnot. Yep. You want to keep them kind of coordinating. Oh, you don't have to. They can be completely different. I'm going to just loosen this up. So again, we can do this little ditzy. I can still use this brush or the bigger brush. Kind of water this down. I'm doing the verditer blue this time. Just really loose water. See, I'm just doing those little daps. You can add the purple. You can make it as light as you want or as dark as you want. See how much bigger the daps were with the bigger brush. Maybe you want them a little more delicate with this one. I'm just doing these little taps, just like that. And you can make some smaller ones coming down here. I mean, just imagine like another delicate taps down here, or even leaves. So just do some little taps here. We can always connect the greens later. Just kind of placing the purples. Just simple, elegant little taps. And again, we can put some of that ultramarine blue. Can water it down just a touch. And add it out here. Just making this one a little bit different. Add some ultramarine blue in this one. Maybe this one's more blues and purples and no pinks, you know. I'm gonna add some more green again. I've got the brown I'm gonna mix in here. Or you can mix in some red, get that deeper green. I'm gonna do some leaves now. So you can do some nice simple leaves. You're curving up from the stem here, connecting to it, connecting. You can push down and pull back up on this one also. Push down, pull back up. My brush is a little worn. I have to get a new one, so it might be a little tricky with my leaves. But do some, like, you can do some bigger leaves, some fatter leaves, like this one, connecting. Crisscross over those stems. We're doing a little bit different here. I'm going to add some light green over here, maybe some smaller leaves, just delicate leaves coming off this branch. Change it up. Have them floating. See, you might add a couple of leaves just kind of sitting out here, floating in the sky. Kind of water this green down, it's a little tint. I want it really light. So you add more water and really pale little leaves kind of floating out here, stems, just really delicate. See how I just pushed those out? Just taking the stems, putting little leaves next to it. It's like a really delicate botanical. I did another swath here. I'll come out here, crisscross, and again just add little teeny leaves because it's spring, and we can add some bigger leaves off the page. So let me add some more of this pretty peacock blue, make it like a bluish green. So we can have leaves that are kind of like coming out from the side. More turquoisey kind of color going right over the stems. Don't worry about that. Just kind of coming off the side. Just adds a little more interest to our picture. Add some yellow green here in this one. Like they were kind of peeking through with the flowers. I'll add another leaf here, and I'll have a stem coming out of that one. Maybe a bigger one in the bottom too. Go right over those stems, don't worry about it. See? Now with this paper, because it's not the Arches paper, you can have some hard edges and then light ones kind of in here, but I kind of really like that for this particular exercise. And again, I'm just adding little marks and leaves. See, just keep adding it. We can kind of have delicate little leaves off those branches. And then we'll just add a few more flowers, and you know, it's a simple, delicate kind of floral. We could add the verditer blue by itself. Maybe just do some little blue 4-petal flowers. This one doesn't want to cooperate. Really bright. There we go. It wasn't cooperating on that one. It was very muddy. I could put some little ones over here too. You want these delicate flowers in this one. You still want to keep it in the purple tones. I don't want to veer from this one too much. I'm just adding little blue dots, little delicate little blue flowers here. Just keeping it really simple. And if I want to go and add that magenta kind of tone, so I may take the magenta itself, mix it with some verditer blue, and see what kind of pretty pinkish purple we get. And then I can do like a flower out here, kind of like a tulip, but not really, like maybe like a poppy, so we can kind of wiggle that. See, I went up and over and wiggled, up and over and wiggle. Just one bigger flower connecting that. There we go. And maybe another one or two down here. Maybe kind of have one here. So you went up, up, over, down. Just really simple things you can do to create these flowers. Another big one up and over and down here. And while that's still wet, you could just take a little tip of your brush, add a little ultramarine blue right into the bottom part where it's connecting to the branch. Do you see how simple that was to make that pretty flower? And you can kind of go in here and add little doodad like buds around. I think this is so pretty and simple. And you don't want to go crazy. You could go crazy. You can come, actually you could have like some more greens if you wanted to. Kind of going, well, let's put them way out here. You know, going off the page. That's kind of pretty. Add a couple of little branches kind of going off the page. It's just more interesting and fun. And I'll add some more leaves down here. Different color greens. Some bigger leaves. But I don't want to get too crazy. I just wanted you to create some simple, elegant, pretty flowers. That pink actually really just popped. I loved it. I'm going to go back and add some more of that magenta. This one got a little muddy, but I love the little bright pops of color here and there. It's just a nice surprise. And then I think I might do one more little speck of purple somewhere, so I'll go back in and add some purple. Bluish purple. Maybe, oh, I don't know. Over here. I could even have a flower peeking through here. So maybe here. I'll add a purple flower. Yeah, I kind of feel like I finished what I needed to finish. And then when it's dry, you can take your darker greens, kind of go in and make some veins if you wanted to. This is not really complicated. This one's really simple and so fun and so pretty. You can do like a million variations, colors, tones. If you tell me you can't do this, I'm going to have to just come over to your house and say, what? You can do this, guys. See, I'm just tapping in some dark green, just little taps here and there. Add little veins. Voila. Look how beautiful that is. Lift that up. You've created. Now I just realized you might not have seen the bottom here. I'm so sorry, guys. That's my dog. So excuse me if you missed that whole end, but you see me going out like this, and you know, I added a leaf down here and a leaf on the side, and I just did little daps, and I did some more flowers here. Sometimes I forget when I zoom in not to zoom back out, but I think you guys can figure it out because you're smart people. Now I just touched that because it was wet. That was a mistake. I'm going to fix that. I'll have to let that dry. Okay, so now you have your two cute little Mother's Day cards. Super, super easy, super simple. Didn't take long to make. Just really pretty and delicate. Like I said, it doesn't have to be Mother's Day. It could be a birthday. So you can write, that's what I'm saying, Mother's Day, birthday, at any occasion. You just write Happy Mother's Day in here. Just floral cards that would go for any occasion. So if you like this tutorial, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. If you have any questions, leave a comment there also. If you haven't hit the bell notification button, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We have a lot of fun over here, especially on Floral Fridays where we practice with watercolor and flowers. So take care, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.